When I was 14, I planned my wedding.
This one's wife. I hate mingling with the peasants. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife was an actress. That's it. She ran a blog as well. She holds herself out as being some benign humanitarian. We know she isn't. She believes that she's an advocate for women. We know she's not. She likes to see herself as an independent, strong feminist that has only ever relied on men for what she's required in this life. When you look at what she is, she really isn't anything special. There are people on this planet who are special. They're talented through perhaps songs, through writing books, through writing plays, through their thoughts about life and the world. They have added to the sum total of the human condition. They have brought genuine joy and happiness into people's lives, whether it's scoring that memorable goal that provided the Premiership title for the first time, that's been indelibly lasered into the minds of tens of thousands of fans around the world, or a particular song which, when it's played, causes people to feel uplifted, feel happy. Songs which might be memorable for other reasons. Novels which are read time and time again by different generations that derive enjoyment from doing so, that find meaning in the words that are written upon the page. Fantastic films that stand the test of time. The creation of buildings that serve a magnificent purpose. Inventions. There are people that are involved in all of these things. Some of them are famous, some of them are not. But to meet them is an experience, whether it's someone who is a fan of somebody's work that just wants to meet that person and to stand next to them, or to have a meaningful exchange, to express their thanks, and perhaps to ask them questions about what they've done. In some instances, to have the opportunity to engage with a brilliant mind, a charismatic personality, a magnetic individual, to be on the receiving end of their presence, just to have spent time with them. There are truly magical individuals who people would rightfully want to spend time with. There are, of course, a lot of individuals who've got themselves in a position of prominence, and when you actually meet them, it's a huge letdown, which leads, of course, to the old adage of never meet your heroes. Those individuals have made such little go a very long way, or are actually talented, but are rather unpleasant people to spend time with. But even then, they're interesting, they've achieved things. But when it comes to this one's wife, she hasn't achieved anything. All she's managed to do is become internationally famous because of the man that she married. All she's managed to do is become internationally disliked as a consequence of her behaviours. That isn't a special talent. It's an ability to put something behind your ears to attract ginger, namely your ankles, and to thereafter play the victim. There's no particular talent associated with either of those things. Furthermore, she's not a particularly pleasant person to spend time with. This is the fact that can be regularly seen where she grimaces, gurns, and struggles to keep the facade in place when dealing with the ordinary people. This one's wife wants to turn up, be admired, be adored, receive a fat paycheck, be given a prominent position, receive lots of applause, be able to talk about nonsense to people, and then go home. Sure, she'll shake some hands, but she doesn't want to spend time with you. You're Joe or Jane Ordinary. She's much better than you, whereas in actual fact, it's the other way around. Because simply anybody who has the misfortune to deal with this one's wife is likely to be more interesting, more talented, more able, and kinder than she is. She should be the one that should be thankful for the people that she meets, but we all know that as a narcissist, that's never going to be the case. But she truly cannot stand having to meet the peasants because it's boring for her. Because she, wrapped up in her own delusion, believes that she is fantastically interesting, special, talented, and amazing. And therefore that people should be dropping to their knees and bowing before her, and that she shouldn't really have to put up with you blathering on about where you've come from, or talking about the particular charity that you're involved in, or the reason why this wheelchair has been adapted the way that it has. She's not interested, because it's not about her. She often glazes over. We've seen this. And she cannot stand having to be out and about amongst the peasants. That's why she remarked in Australia, "I can't believe I'm not being paid for this." She expects that anything she does ought to be remunerated. You will now see on your screens a clearer photograph of showing just how much this one's wife hates being amongst the peasants, which is what she undoubtedly references ordinary people as. This is taken from the recent appearance at the 1 year to go to the This One's Wife Games. And prior to this one's wife was tugging on Harry's arm, probably saying, "I want to go back to the hotel, this is boring. I don't want to listen to these people, I've had enough now." And Harry, at least with a sense of duty, has recognised, no, we can't do that yet. I need to talk to some more people. And this is the face that follows. You can see that the mask of pleasantness that her narcissism ordinarily affords her when she's walking around has slipped away, demonstrating the cold fury that is churning away beneath the surface. The clenched jaw, the pursed lips, the fixed gaze, because she's not got her way. Because not only has her need for control been threatened, possibly by Harry's refusal to do what she wants, but she also finds herself in a situation that she doesn't want to be there. That she has to walk around dealing with uninteresting people, at least from her perspective. That she has to actually put in some effort of talking to people and acknowledge them and listening to them, all things that she doesn't want to do, because if they're talking about themselves, they're not talking about her, and therefore that's pointless because they're not giving her any fuel. If they're explaining to her why they've done, what their attendance at the event is for, etc., she's not interested in that because it's not about her. And here, in this picture, you get to see a particular instance of what she really thinks about it all. She can't stand it. She hates it because it's not about her. Duty is a drain on her resources, and her narcissism doesn't like it. What she wants to be able to do is wander along and everybody ask about her, talk about her, provide her with fuel and make it easy for her. She doesn't want to have to do the hard work, and it's not that hard work, of actually listening to people talking about their lives and what they do. But she's not interested in that, and there, you see on the screen, is the result. And if you didn't think that that picture demonstrated the fact that she hates to mingle with the peasants, here's a little bit of video footage which shows an interaction with a volunteer, or I think somebody working with the Canadian team. First of all, let's have a look at the short clip. The lady wearing the Canada shirt is engaging animatedly with this one's wife, and fixed rictus grin is in place. Notice that this one's wife is bored by what she's hearing because she starts playing with her hair, which is demonstrative of her lack of manners and also demonstrates that she's distracted because she needs to do something in relation to herself. The lady turns away, the fixed rictus grin continues for a short while, And then the contempt shows as the teeth-sucking is engaged in, and she looks as if she's had to swallow something unpalatable. And in a way, she has. She's had to listen to one of the little people talking about what they do. She's had to listen to a peasant talking about their life. And she's had to grin and bear it because, of course, she can't headbutt the lady and say, "Oh, will you fuck off, this is boring." Facade management dictates that she can't. She can't turn to the suited gentleman next to her and say, "Have you heard this one? Christ almighty, she could talk the hind legs off a donkey." No, she has to stand there and take it. And then once the woman's back is turned, her narcissism allows her to assert control through the third assertion of control, which is basically to jettison the woman by saying, "Thank God that's over. Christ, she was boring." But her narcissism can't help but let the facade slip for a moment and allow her true feelings about the matter to be exposed, which is, "Ugh, I've had to deal with one of the peasants. How unsavoury, how unpleasant. Somebody bring me some mouthwash." And thus you can see once again that for all of the posing and smiling and facade management that she engages in, and for all of the talk of compassion and being authentic and being kind and caring, what's really going on is a manufactured appearance for the purpose of managing that facade, and that behind it, she really cannot stand the people that she talks to. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.